Hey everyone, it's Carolyn Edlund, founder of Artsy Shark. Thanks for joining me on my YouTube channel today. If you like the business of art, there are a lot of videos on this channel that you may find helpful, and I invite you to subscribe. If you like the different videos, please give us a thumbs up. Today I want to talk about a difficult subject, and that subject is difficult people. If you're an artist in business, or even just a person, you have run across difficult people, and they can be really frustrating at times. Remember, if you're in business and you're dealing with a customer or a colleague or a peer or someone in the industry, and you're having a little bit of friction, it's not personal, it's business. So step back a little bit. Some people take things very personally, and so it can be hard for them. If you're in a situation with a person and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy, this guy's really difficult, ask yourself a question first. Am I also being difficult? It could be a two-way street. And maybe you are, in which case you can address your own behavior, maybe step back a little bit, cool things off, and not get into an argument or difficulty with them. If you are not, then there are ways to deal with people who are just a little bit out of line, maybe insulting, maybe just demanding, expecting too much. And that is to understand that they probably don't realize how they're coming off. Most folks don't believe they are difficult. They think other people are difficult. So let's give them a chance to get back on track. One of the best ways that I found is that if you're in a situation and there may be a misunderstanding or there may be some expectations that you think are a little bit out of alignment, then don't react. Don't come right back at them with, what? Or are you kidding me? Or no, that's not right. Just step back and listen to what they're saying without reacting. Give yourself a little bit of time to regroup and then ask some questions. Do a little bit of what we call active listening and say, what I hear you saying is that you're expecting this, or it's my understanding that you don't think something's being done right, or I hear you saying that you expect these things, and then repeat to them what you believe to be the case for them. And you might be wrong. It may be that you've misunderstood. Maybe what they're expecting is not a huge amount of work like you thought. And so you can kind of regroup and get that conversation back on track. And it's pretty often the case. It's not uncommon. However, it might be that they're expecting a lot more than you thought you agreed to. Now, in the case of doing work for hire, or perhaps a commission, or some kind of a job for an organization that you're working with, it's nice to have either a contract, and certainly for any kind of a commission, you should have a contract so that you've got everything spelled out right at the beginning, and therefore everyone knows what can be expected of them and what they can expect of the other party. Or if you don't have a contract, an email or a letter, or something that you have an agreement. Yes, this is what I agree to do. This is what you agree to do, or this is what you agree to pay. And these are the terms of our agreement. So you might go back and say, it's my understanding that you want these things. Let's review what we've agreed upon. So in the case where someone is kind of getting out of line and they're really not being reasonable, there are times when there are people who maybe something else is going on in their life and they're coming off really harsh, or they're being difficult, and it's a temporary situation, in which case I would encourage you just to forgive them for that, or to kind of just overlook maybe that they made a statement that might be a little bit insulting. Just forgive them. Maybe they just need that on that particular day. They may do the same for you. But in any situation where you believe there's a true disagreement and you really need to lay things out, do it when you're very calm. And don't do it when you're in the heat of a discussion where they might be getting emotional. Say, let's just cool off for a while. Let's talk again tomorrow. Or you might want to lay it out in an email. Sorry that we had a disagreement the other day. This is what I understand our situation to be. This is my side of things. I'd like to work with you. Let's discuss this and see where we can come to any kind of an agreement. We might be able to compromise somewhat. And I think you'll find that most people are reasonable. Are there some just really crazy people out there? Probably. But you're most likely not dealing with one of them. So before allowing things to escalate and to just jump to the conclusion that someone's unreasonable and then reacting to them in an emotional way, most of the time, just stepping back, cooling off, and taking a very calm approach is the answer. I think it will solve 90% of your problems. In those other 10% of situations where things are just not going well, it might be time to fire your customer or to decide not to work with someone any longer. And that might be the best situation. However, I would give it a chance to be overcome reasonably in the first place and to allow people to put their best selves forward and to compromise and come to an agreement. And you might find that the person you thought was difficult actually is a very nice person to work with.